If you're over 65, stop eating these 4 foods. They're poisoning your brain. The silent thieves of your golden years. There's a quiet fear that many people over 65 carry with them every day. It's not just about aching joints or declining strength. It's about something far more personal. Far more painful. It's the fear of losing your mind. Forgetting names. Misplacing your words. Feeling foggy, confused, or disconnected from the world around you. And while we often accept this as just part of getting older, science tells us a different story. Much of this cognitive decline is preventable. Even more surprising? The culprits might not be age or genetics, but rather what's sitting on your plate. Yes, the very foods you eat each day might be silently sabotaging your brain, killing off memory cells, slowing your thinking, and increasing your risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So in today's message, we're going to uncover the 4 most dangerous foods that people over 65 should avoid at all costs. Foods that doctors and neuroscientists say are like poison to the brain. But this isn't just about fear, it's about empowerment. Once you know the truth, you can make smarter choices, nourish your brain, and keep your mind sharp, focused, and vibrant, no matter your age. Let's dive in. 1. Processed meats, a shortcut to brain inflammation. You might love a slice of ham, some bacon with breakfast, or a few hot dogs at the summer barbecue. But for your brain, these meats are a nightmare. Why? Because processed meats are loaded with nitrites, preservatives, and inflammatory compounds that have been directly linked to increased brain inflammation and cognitive decline. Studies from the University of Leeds found that people who regularly ate processed meats were 44% more likely to develop dementia. These meats are also high in saturated fats, sodium, and sometimes even sugar, creating the perfect storm for high blood pressure and reduced blood flow to the brain. Reduced blood flow equals less oxygen equals slower thinking, weaker memory, and even brain cell death. Better choice. Swap out processed meats for fresh, lean proteins like grilled chicken, wild-caught salmon, or legumes. These are rich in omega-3s and amino acids that support neurotransmitter function and protect your memory. 2. Margarine and hydrogenated oils, fat that destroys thought. You might remember a time when margarine was marketed as the heart-healthy alternative to butter. But research now shows this was a dangerous lie. Margarine and other products made with partially hydrogenated oils contain trans fats, a type of fat so damaging that many countries have started banning it altogether. Trans fats have been shown to shrink the brain's memory center, impair mood, and increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease. They do this by stiffening brain cell membranes, interfering with cell communication, and promoting chronic inflammation in the brain. And for older adults, the damage is even worse, because the brain is more vulnerable to oxidative stress and needs healthy fats to function. Better choice. Ditch margarine, shortening, and processed spreads. Use extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or grass-fed butter in moderation. These fats support brain health, reduce inflammation, and even enhance mood and focus. 3. Refined sugars and artificial sweeteners, sweet poison. You already know that sugar isn't great for your body, but few people understand just how devastating it is for the brain. Refined sugars, like those in pastries, sodas, breakfast cereals, and even healthy granola bars, cause rapid blood sugar spikes followed by crashes, which impair concentration, memory, and energy levels. Over time, sugar fuels insulin resistance, which has been called type 3 diabetes when it affects the brain. This condition is strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease and age-related memory loss. But what about artificial sweeteners, the ones marketed as sugar-free? Worse, sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin can interfere with neurotransmitters, harm gut bacteria, which influences mood and memory, and have even been linked to depression and anxiety in older adults. Better choice. Satisfy your sweet tooth with whole fruits, like blueberries or apples. Use natural sweeteners in moderation, such as stevia, monk fruit, or a bit of raw honey, and always read labels carefully. 4. White bread and refined carbs, empty calories, empty mind. Toast for breakfast, pasta for lunch, crackers or cookies with tea. Sound familiar? These foods made from refined white flour might be comfort staples, but they do very little to comfort your brain. Refined carbs act like sugar in your body. They're broken down quickly, causing blood sugar surges that harm brain function. Over time, they dull memory, slow learning, and even shrink the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for memory and learning. Even worse, a high intake of refined carbs increases inflammation in the body, including the brain, and raises the risk of developing depression and cognitive decline. Better choice. Choose whole grains like oats, quinoa, buckwheat, or sprouted grain breads. These contain fiber, B vitamins, and antioxidants that nourish your brain, protect your nerves, and keep you mentally energized throughout the day. What you eat becomes who you are. After 65, every decision you make matters a little more, and few choices are more powerful or more personal than what you put into your body. Because here's the truth: your brain is not destined to decline. Your memories are not meant to fade. Your golden years can still be filled with clarity, creativity, and deep connection if you feed your brain the respect it deserves. So let today be a turning point. Take a look at your kitchen. What's in your fridge, your pantry, your breakfast bowl? What's fueling your thoughts or fogging them? By removing these 4 brain-damaging foods from your diet, you're not just avoiding disease. You're saying yes to presence, to purpose, to remembering the names, the moments, and the people you love. Because your mind is worth protecting, and it's never too late to begin. Avoid these 5 healthy breakfasts after 60. Doctors are shocked. The morning trap that's fooling millions over 60. We all grow up with one golden rule drilled into our heads: breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And as we age, that rule often takes on even greater importance. After 60, when energy levels shift, metabolism slows down, and the risk for chronic illnesses increases. Many seniors try to eat a healthier breakfast to start the day right. So, we reach for what we've always believed are healthy options: whole grain cereals, fruit smoothies, low-fat yogurts, granola bars, even a glass of orange juice. They're quick, convenient, and marketed as nutritious. But here's the shocking truth: some of the most popular breakfast choices for older adults might be silently sabotaging your health. Doctors and nutritionists are now sounding the alarm. These so-called healthy breakfasts are often loaded with hidden sugars, harmful fats, and ingredients that spike inflammation, mess with blood sugar, and strain aging hearts, joints, and digestive systems. In today's article, we're going to expose 5 common breakfast foods that you should avoid after age 60, and explain why these choices, though well-meaning, may be doing more harm than good. We'll also offer better, senior-friendly alternatives that actually support energy, brain function, heart health, and longevity. 1. Fruit yogurt, the sugar bomb in disguise. Yogurt often tops the list of healthy breakfast options, especially fruit-flavored low-fat versions. But did you know that many fruit yogurts contain more sugar than a donut? After age 60, excess sugar becomes especially dangerous. It increases insulin resistance, contributes to belly fat, fuels inflammation, and raises your risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease, all conditions that seniors are already more vulnerable to. On top of that, low-fat yogurts strip away the healthy fats your body actually needs, the fats that help stabilize energy, nourish the brain, and keep you full longer. Better option: choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt and add your own fresh berries or a sprinkle of cinnamon. You get protein, probiotics, and healthy fats, without the sugar crash. 2. Granola and cereal, crunchy, but catastrophic. Granola and breakfast cereals are marketed as fiber-rich and whole grain, but many are anything but healthy. These products are often highly processed, loaded with added sugars or syrups, packed with vegetable oils and preservatives. They cause sharp blood sugar spikes in the morning, followed by mid-morning crashes that leave you tired, irritable, and hungry again. Over time, these fluctuations can worsen insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. Plus, the crunchy texture can be tough on sensitive teeth and gums, which is another concern for aging adults. Better option: make your own oatmeal using steel-cut oats, chia seeds, flax seeds, and almond milk. Add a handful of walnuts and blueberries for antioxidants and healthy fats. 3. Fruit juice, liquid sugar with no fiber. A glass of orange juice may seem like the healthiest way to start your day. It's fruit, right? but most commercial fruit juices are stripped of fiber and concentrated in sugar. 1 cup of orange juice contains nearly the same amount of sugar as a can of soda, and without the fiber that slows sugar absorption. For seniors, this can lead to blood sugar spikes, increased inflammation, and added pressure on the pancreas and liver. Worse, regularly drinking fruit juice can increase your risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and fatty liver disease. Better option: eat a whole orange instead of drinking the juice. Or infuse your water with slices of cucumber, lemon, or berries for natural flavor without the sugar overload. 4. Whole wheat toast with margarine, a deceptive duo. Whole wheat toast sounds healthy. Margarine? Marketed as heart healthy. But both can be misleading choices, especially after 60. Most commercial whole wheat breads are made with refined flours that spike blood sugar just like white bread. And margarine, once hailed as a better alternative to butter, is often made with inflammatory seed oils and trans fats, the very things that contribute to heart disease and cognitive decline. In short, this breakfast may be quietly harming the very organs you're trying to protect. Better option: try sprouted grain bread with mashed avocado, a boiled egg, or a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. This combo supports heart health and provides clean, steady energy. 5. Smoothies, a health halo that hides sugar. Smoothies can be healthy, but most commercial or store-bought ones are sugar traps. Even homemade smoothies can backfire if loaded with too much fruit, juice, sweetened yogurt, or protein powders full of artificial ingredients. After 60, your body's ability to process sugars and chemicals slows down. High-sugar smoothies can cause gut issues, inflammation, energy crashes, and even mood swings. Plus, when you drink your calories too fast, your body doesn't register fullness, leading to overeating later in the day. Better option: build a senior smart smoothie with half an avocado, unsweetened almond milk, a scoop of clean protein, like collagen, a handful of spinach, and some frozen berries. This fuels your brain, muscles, and immune system, without the sugar surge. Your mornings deserve better. After 60, breakfast is more than just a meal, it's a foundation for your day, your energy, and your future health. And while the food industry may try to convince you that fruit-flavored, or whole grain, always means healthy, the truth is more complicated. Many breakfast choices labeled healthy are actually working against you, quietly disrupting your metabolism, stressing your organs, and accelerating aging from the inside out. But with just a few mindful swaps, you can transform your breakfast into a powerful tool for healing, strength, clarity, and longevity. So tomorrow morning, take a moment to look at your plate and ask, is this feeding my future? Or just fooling me today? Because your body may be aging, but your mornings can still feel young, vibrant, and full of life. Seniors, never drink this after 6 p.m. It silently destroys your heart while you sleep. As we grow older, we often become more mindful of our diets, medications, and daily routines. We begin to understand that our choices, especially in the evening, play a crucial role in how well we sleep, how healthy our hearts remain, and how much vitality we wake up with the next morning. Yet, there's one habit that quietly escapes the radar of many seniors: a simple drink after dinner. Often chosen out of comfort or tradition, that could be doing more harm than good. This habit? Consuming beverages that contain caffeine after 6 p.m. It may sound harmless, a cup of tea, a glass of cola, or a bit of hot chocolate before bed. But for seniors, the effects of these choices can be far more serious than they might appear. The silent, nightly damage they can do to your heart is real, and it adds up over time. Today, we're going to uncover why these drinks are so dangerous, how they affect the aging heart during your most vulnerable hours, while you sleep, and what healthier alternatives you can turn to instead. If you're over 60, or caring for someone who is, this could be one of the most important health messages you hear all year. Your heart is an extraordinary machine. It beats over 100.000 times per day without ever taking a break. It pumps blood to your brain, your organs, your limbs, keeping every part of you alive. But as we age, that machine starts to show signs of wear. Arteries stiffen, blood vessels become narrower, and the heart's electrical signals may become less stable, sometimes leading to irregular heart rhythms. On top of that, Sleep becomes more fragile. What used to be a deep, restorative rest turns into lighter, more interrupted sleep. The heart doesn't get the recovery time it once did. Now imagine adding something to that system that stimulates it, right before you go to bed. Caffeine is a central nervous system stimulant. It increases alertness, speeds up your heart rate, and constricts your blood vessels. That might be great in the morning when you're trying to wake up. But at night, especially after 6 p.m., it can set off a chain of effects that overwork your aging heart and leave it vulnerable while you're asleep. When a senior drinks caffeine in the evening, the effects can linger long into the night. In younger adults, caffeine may take 4 to 6 hours to leave the system. But in older adults, metabolism slows down, and the effects can persist for 8, even 10 hours. That means a cup of tea or coffee at 6:30 p.m. could still be interfering with your heart and brain well past midnight. What does this mean for your heart? First, caffeine increases your heart rate and blood pressure. It can create a low-level, sustained tension in your cardiovascular system. That's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. During sleep, your heart is supposed to slow down. Your blood pressure should dip, and your body should enter a state of deep recovery. Caffeine robs you of that. Instead of rest, your heart stays alert. Instead of recovery, there is silent strain. Second, caffeine can trigger arrhythmias, or irregular heartbeats, especially in people who already have some form of heart disease or high blood pressure. For a senior, this can be not only uncomfortable but frightening and even life-threatening over time. Third, caffeine disrupts sleep. This alone has a serious ripple effect on your cardiovascular health. Studies show that poor sleep increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and heart failure. When you don't sleep deeply, your body releases more stress hormones. Inflammation increases, blood vessels stay tense, your heart keeps pumping harder than it should. And all of this may have started with a seemingly innocent decision, a hot beverage after dinner. So what are the common culprits? It's not just coffee. The hidden caffeine in many popular evening drinks surprises most people. Black tea and green tea contain enough caffeine to stimulate your heart for hours. Even decaf coffee still contains about 5 to 15 milligrams of caffeine per cup, enough to affect a sensitive senior system. Hot chocolate contains caffeine, too, along with sugar, which can spike blood pressure. Cola, diet soda, energy drinks, even certain flavored waters, all can secretly load your body with caffeine and sugar at the worst time of day. Why do so many seniors still consume these drinks after 6 p.m.? Often, it's habit. For decades, a hot cup of tea after dinner might have been part of a nightly routine. Or maybe it's for comfort, to calm nerves or warm up before bed. Unfortunately, the very thing that brings a sense of relaxation can be quietly stealing your heart's resilience. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up your evening ritual. You just need to choose better options. Instead of black tea, reach for chamomile tea, which is naturally caffeine-free and actually promotes better sleep. If you enjoy something sweet, try warm almond milk with a pinch of cinnamon, a comforting, heart-healthy drink that soothes without stimulating. For those who love tea, rooibos is a great alternative, rich in antioxidants but completely free of caffeine. And if you want to keep your digestion healthy while relaxing, peppermint tea or lemon balm tea are excellent choices. There's also the beautiful ritual of drinking golden milk, a warm blend of turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and non-dairy milk. Not only is it anti-inflammatory, but it also calms the nervous system and supports heart health. Making this one simple switch, avoiding caffeine after 6 p.m., could mean deeper sleep, steadier heart rhythms, lower nighttime blood pressure, and even a reduced risk of stroke or heart failure. In fact, many seniors report feeling significantly better just days after changing this habit. They sleep more soundly, they wake up with more energy, their heart palpitations reduce, they feel calmer, and over time, this nightly change adds up to years of stronger, healthier living. Let's not underestimate the power of small choices. Every evening, you're given the chance to support your heart or strain it. By simply swapping your post-dinner beverage, you may be giving your heart the best gift of all, a peaceful, restorative night. So tonight, before you reach for that teacup or pour that hot drink, pause, ask yourself, is this serving my heart? Or is it silently working against it? Your heart has served you for decades. Now it's your turn to serve it well. Choose rest. Choose peace. Choose life. If you feel like you're in the final chapter of your life, stop doing these 5 things immediately. Aging is inevitable, but the way we approach our later years makes all the difference between a life of quiet despair and one of peace, dignity, and meaning. As we grow older, especially into our 70s, 80s, or even 90s, it's easy to fall into habits, mental, emotional, or physical, that slowly drain our energy, hope, and joy. Many seniors begin to feel like they're merely existing, not truly living. But here's the truth: every moment still counts. And it's never too late to make your time here rich with comfort, clarity, and connection. If you feel like you're nearing the final stage of life, take heart. You still have immense power to shape your emotional well-being and physical comfort. But to move forward in peace, you must let go of certain burdens. Here are 5 things you must stop doing immediately if you want to find serenity and meaning in your remaining years. 1. Stop dwelling on regrets and past mistakes. It's natural to look back on a long life filled with choices, some of which may not have turned out the way you hoped. Perhaps there were words you never said, relationships you lost, or paths you didn't take. But living in the shadows of yesterday prevents you from embracing today. Regret serves no one, least of all yourself. You cannot rewrite the past, but you can choose how you live in the present. Instead of ruminating on what went wrong, reflect on what you've learned. Your experiences, no matter how painful, have shaped your wisdom. Use that wisdom to forgive yourself. Letting go of guilt and shame is one of the most liberating gifts you can give yourself at this stage of life. 2. Stop isolating yourself emotionally. Loneliness can be one of the most destructive forces in old age, not just emotionally, but physically. Seniors who emotionally withdraw often suffer more from depression, cognitive decline, and even cardiovascular issues. It's easy to believe that no one wants to hear your thoughts or understand your emotions anymore, especially when friends or loved ones have passed on or moved away. But isolation isn't the answer. Reach out, join a club, attend community events, or even try connecting with people online. Volunteer if you're able, and if mobility is limited, invite others into your world with stories, phone calls, or letters. Human connection, at any age, is essential to vitality. 3. Stop comparing your aging process to others. You may look at friends, siblings, or even celebrities and feel a sting of envy or inadequacy. Maybe someone your age is still hiking mountains while you struggle to get up the stairs. Or perhaps someone else is surrounded by family while you're often alone. But aging isn't a competition. Each body, each life, and each journey is unique. When you compare your reality to someone else's highlight reel, you invite unnecessary sadness into your life. Instead, honor your path, celebrate your endurance, your resilience, and the quiet victories that no one sees. Remember, there's no single, right way to grow old. 4. Stop hoarding physical and emotional clutter. Many people in later years cling to objects, memories, or emotions that no longer serve them. Old clothes, broken furniture, unresolved conflicts, or even long-harbored grudges can become emotional weights that hold you back. You might tell yourself, "I'll need this one day," or "I can't let this go yet." But these things often crowd your space and spirit. Simplify your life. Clean out a drawer, a closet, or even just your heart. Make peace with the people and moments that hurt you. Freeing up space makes room for clarity, peace, and even new joys. Let go, not because the past didn't matter, but because you deserve to feel light and free now. 5. Stop believing that it's too late for joy. Perhaps the most dangerous mindset to adopt in your later years is the belief that happiness is behind you. This belief is a quiet thief. It steals the colors from your days and convinces you that all you have left is to wait. But nothing could be further from the truth. There are still books you haven't read, songs you haven't heard, conversations you haven't had, and sunsets you haven't watched. Joy is not a prize reserved for the young. It is available to the present-minded, the hopeful-hearted, and the soul willing to be surprised. Whether it's through nature, creativity, spirituality, humor, or love, joy is always within reach. Embrace peace, not perfection. Reaching the final chapter of life is not a sign of decline, it's a rare and sacred opportunity. A time to slow down and see clearly. A time to savor what remains and release what no longer matters. Life at this stage should not be a punishment or a prison. It should be a return to simplicity, to love, to gratitude. So if you feel like your life is winding down, don't just sit and wait for the end. Sit and open yourself to something new, peace, understanding, a deeper connection with yourself. And start by letting go of these 5 things. Because no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake, the flame of your spirit still burns bright, and it deserves to shine in freedom, dignity, and light. When you grow old and have to live alone, do these things to live meaningfully and peacefully. Aging is a natural part of life. As we grow older, we gradually witness the departure of familiar faces, the fading of youthful energy, and the quiet settling into a slower rhythm of existence. One of the greatest challenges of old age is not just declining health, but the overwhelming sense of loneliness that can accompany it. For many seniors, living alone is not a choice, it's a reality born of time. A spouse may have passed, children may live far away, and friendships might have dwindled. But solitude doesn't have to mean sadness. Living alone in your later years can be a profoundly rewarding and liberating experience, if approached with the right mindset. It's a time to reconnect with yourself, to nurture your body and spirit, and to rediscover the joys of quiet living. Here are meaningful, practical, and emotionally empowering things to do when you're living alone as a senior, to not only survive but thrive. 1. Build a personal routine anchored in purpose. Without structure, time can feel overwhelming, especially when you're alone. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do is create a daily routine that brings consistency, clarity, and comfort. Wake up at the same time each day. Start your morning with something uplifting, a walk, a prayer, light yoga, or simply a cup of tea enjoyed slowly. Include anchor activities in your day, meals at regular times, reading in the afternoon sun, tending to your garden, or calling a friend. Structure provides purpose, and purpose gives life a reason to move forward, even when there's no one else around. 2. Transform your living space into a haven. Your home isn't just where you live, it's your emotional foundation. As a senior living alone, it's vital to create an environment that feels warm, safe, and comforting. Declutter your space to reduce mental noise. Add personal touches, family photos, cozy blankets, artwork, plants, and soft lighting. Invest in comfort. A chair that supports your back, a good mattress, and safe bathroom features. Fill your space with music, natural scents, and things that make you feel you. The more peace your home offers, the less the silence feels heavy. 3. Nurture your mind through continuous learning. Age should never be a barrier to curiosity. One of the most powerful ways to avoid emotional stagnation and loneliness is to keep your mind engaged. Read books, take online courses, try puzzles or word games. Even learning how to use new technology can open doors, not only to the world but also to people. Challenge yourself to explore something new every week. Maybe it's a new recipe, a painting technique, or a historical documentary. When your mind is active, life continues to feel full and expansive. 4. Stay physically active, even in small ways. The body and mind are deeply connected. When your body moves, your mood lifts, your heart stays healthy, and your spirit feels stronger. You don't need a gym or strenuous exercise. Gentle walks, chair yoga, dancing in your living room, stretching routines, or even gardening can make a huge difference. Create a habit of moving a little every day. It's not about pushing limits, it's about telling your body, I still care for you. Staying active reinforces the idea that your life still has momentum, strength, and presence. 5. Connect emotionally, even without physical presence. Even when you live alone, you don't have to feel emotionally isolated. The human heart thrives on connection, and connection can happen through phone calls, letters, emails, or even smiling at a neighbor from your window. If possible, join a local senior center, a hobby group, or an online community. Volunteer for something meaningful. Being part of something, no matter how small, reminds you that you are still needed, still seen, still important. Reach out to loved ones regularly. Initiate conversations. Tell your story. Your wisdom is a gift, and sometimes others are just waiting for you to open the door to share it. 6. Develop an inner spiritual practice or philosophy. In the stillness of solitude, many seniors discover a deeper spiritual connection, whether through religion, meditation, mindfulness, or personal reflection. This doesn't have to be formal or rigid. It could be sitting quietly at sunrise, writing your thoughts in a journal, or expressing gratitude each night before bed. Spirituality, in any form, brings peace. It softens regret, heals old wounds, and strengthens your sense of self. When the noise of life fades, the whisper of your soul becomes louder and more precious. 7. Embrace technology as a bridge, not a barrier. Don't let fear of technology isolate you. Learn how to use a smartphone or tablet to video call your children. Send messages, watch inspiring content, or join online communities. There are countless resources online specifically designed for seniors, and once you become familiar, you'll find it empowering, not intimidating. Technology isn't just about screens, it's about connecting, discovering, and staying engaged with the ever-evolving world. 8. Practice gratitude to transform loneliness into peace. It may sound simple, but gratitude can shift your entire perspective. Instead of focusing on what's missing, a lost spouse, distant children, fading health, focus on what's still present. You woke up today. You have a roof over your head. You made your favorite tea. You heard birds outside. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it gently lifts it and makes room for hope. 9. Revisit your past, but don't get stuck there. Living alone often invites memories to flood in, some sweet, some painful. It's okay to reminisce. Look through photo albums, write about your experiences, or even record voice messages sharing your life lessons for future generations. But don't live only in the past. You are still living. There is still time for new chapters, new stories, and quiet happiness. 10. Live intentionally. Create joy on purpose. Don't wait for happiness to just happen. Create it. Light a candle at dinner. Wear your favorite sweater. Dance to music from your youth. Plant a flower. Bake a cake. Laugh out loud at a silly TV show. You are not waiting to die, you are still alive. Make each day a soft celebration of that fact. Alone doesn't mean abandoned, it means rediscovered. Living alone in old age is not a punishment. It's not a tragedy. It is a chapter, and like all chapters, it can be beautiful, peaceful, and rich in meaning. You still matter. You still have so much to give, to the world, to others, and most of all, to yourself. Don't waste this quiet time regretting the noise that's gone. Instead, listen, really listen, to the gentle voice inside you. That voice is wise. That voice is whole. That voice is ready to guide you into a deeply fulfilling season of life. You are not just growing old, you are growing into yourself. And in that, there is profound beauty.